Hello, everyone. Welcome to Burn the Ship, where entrepreneurs go all in on their business and we introduce them to people who can help them do it. Today, we have a special guest, Miss Jane Gentry. How are you doing today?
So good. And you?
I'm doing very well. It's an exciting day. I mean, look, we coordinated and didn't even know it. So it's already a good start.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
So thank you so much for coming on today. We understand that time is one of our most valuable resources. So we want to go ahead and jump into things. So tell us a little bit about your story and how you've gotten to where you are now.
My story, I was an actor, and I was really hungry. So I got my first job in sales, and it was going to be for a year to pay down some debt, and then I was going to go back to acting, and that was 25 or more years ago.
Okay.
So, when you start to make a little money and eat regularly and drive a car that runs. So I spent some time selling. I ran a sales organization.
Okay.
I got the first of several autoimmune diseases and quit my job and started a company.
Okay.
And before that, I'd been traveling a couple hundred days a year. So
With your sales position you had before?
with my sales leadership position, yeah. So it was not really a conducive lifestyle, right? And so I started a company. I did consulting for 20 years. So maybe it's more than 25 years, Roderick.
Okay.
God, I'm old.
No, experienced.
Experience.
Not
That's
old.
what we're going to go with that. So I had a consulting practice for 20 years, working with mostly big companies,
Okay.
Philips, Mercedes, Coca-Cola, Home Depot, working with their leaders. And then I left and ran a couple of companies. And after I did that, I decided that I really had a heart for small and mid-sized business owners. I feel that they're under-resourced compared to bigger companies. And when I say that, I don't just mean financially. I mean, where do you get a good attorney? Where do you get a good marketing person? How do you know what you should spend? And what does strategy look like? There's not that development that you get in big companies. I think most entrepreneurs start a company because they have a passion or a giftedness for something, right?
Right.
And so, there's a story behind that also, but we probably don't have time for that. But I shifted the practice to small and mid-sized business owners. And so today I do advising and consulting for small and mid-sized CEOs and their leadership teams.
Okay. Now tell us what that business looks like. Is that 10, 15 employees, 50, 100 employees? What does that look like?
We don't go by employees, we go by revenues.
Okay.
So I'd say somewhere 5 to 50 is our sweet spot. But right now I'm doing some consulting for an equity-backed manufacturing firm that's 150 million.
Okay. And that sounds like you can help businesses all over the country. Is that correct?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good. We definitely appreciate you sharing your story and giving us a little bit of background. Now, at that time, you had to make a decision. Am I going to stop, selling and go into business? And you started to acquire skills over time. Now, for Burn the Ship, it is kind of like a how-to for entrepreneurs that have gotten stuck. What is one of the or two of the skills you would like to share with them that have helped you to be successful?
So the first one I would say, and it took me a long time to learn this, because if you might be stuck on the front end, but the other thing about being a business owner is that there will be seasons in your business where you will feel like this isn't working, or you're really stuck. You don't know what is the next thing to do. And what I have found is, first of all, learn to get comfortable in the muckiness of it. Learn to sit in the uncertainty of it for a bit. If I look back at my business, those are the times of biggest growth for me.
Okay.
And so how did that happen? you have to take thoughtful risk. You have to do something, not get crazy, but you have to take a step in a direction.
Okay.
And if that direction isn't the right direction, then you course correct, right? But you can't stay stuck. I say to people, we've got to make a move.
Yes.
You can't have analysis paralysis. I have a client right now that, he'll think about something every single way he can possibly think of it. And I said, nope, we're going to move.
Yes. Got to go forward.
You got to move, right?
Okay.
So that's the first one, is get comfortable in that spot. I've learned to get a little excited when I'm in that spot in my business, because I know that there is about to be a period of growth.
Yes, that's that experience.
After that,
That's that experience that I wanted you to share with people today, because there's a lot of business owners that get going and then they get to a particular point and they don't know what to do. And they just get lost, and they get so confused, or they get so lost they quit. So that's why I wanted you to come on.
The other thing is, find a brain trust, right? So if you don't see value, or you can't afford a person who does what I do, find your brain trust somewhere else. I mean, we serve CEOs because it's a lonely place to be.
Yes. I get
You can't, most CEOs don't feel like they can be vulnerable with their people in their company. They need somebody to brainstorm with. They need somebody to give them an outside perspective, right? But maybe somebody like me isn't the right solution. And when I first started out, I put together a very informal board of directors. Unfortunately for them, they didn't get paid. Like, we'd do a golf outing or something as a thank you. But people who had very different experiences. So somebody was a business owner. Somebody was an expert in marketing. One person was a client. So I brought this group of people together, and what they had in common was, I thought they were smart business people. I thought they were out-of-the-box thinkers, and they all cared about my success.
Okay.
So don't feel like you've got to solve every single problem on your own. Somehow find a brain trust.
Nice. That's great advice to tell them to don't try to do it alone. It is people out there that actually care about helping you, and you just have to find those people to help you get along the path, because trying to do it all by yourself, you only can do so much, and having trusted advisors around you can help you go forward by utilizing some of the experiences that they have. That is great advice.
Or they just, part of the value of what we do, or what that brain trust could do for you, is they just ask the hard questions. They make you put some intellectual rigor behind the decisions that you're making.
Okay. Well, excellent. Now, as far as where you are in your business, you've been going along, you've been helping business owners. Where do you see yourself going in the future in your business?
I see us doing more of the same. I think that this is a real period for me of personal fulfillment in what we do. The challenge with being a consultant in big companies is you're kind of a seed planter, right? So you go in there, you plant the seed, you leave. You don't know, did they water it?
Makes sense.
Did they mow over it?
Yes.
Was there a harvest from that you did? When we work with CEOs now, we're in there long enough to see that there's a harvest from the work that we do. And so for me, it's super fulfilling. And so I just see myself doing more
continuing
of that.
Continue to help people.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. We need people to get out and help people, because again, there's so much stuff that we don't know, and we do need that help moving forward. Now, you're going to continue to help people in that fashion in the business. Now, let's just say you've helped everyone. There's been huge harvests.
The whole world?
Everyone.
I've helped the whole world?
Everyone.
Okay.
And now you can take some time back for Jane. What is it that you think that you would do with your time?
I don't really see retirement.
Mhm.
I don't see myself stopping to do something. I would probably do something in ministry.
Okay. 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 Give back.
Serve that way. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Nothing wrong with that either, because it's one of those things where we we grew up in faith, in my family, and we truly believe. And it's one of those things where a lot of people need help. They need help in all kind of ways.
Well, and if you kind of go back to your earlier question, what would make you successful? I give a lot. I teach salespeople to give first in the
Hmm.
relationship with a customer.
Hmm.
We talk about what does that look like? What's a smart way to do that? Um, and I am a habitual connector. It's almost a personality disorder.
Yes,
But what
yes.
I have found, Roderick, over my career is you cannot give too much. That always comes back to you, right? I have
Hmm.
a former client who wants to start a consulting practice. And we spent a couple hours the other day and he said, I really want this to be a mutual thing, Jane, and I don't know what to do for you. And I said,
Yeah.
don't sweat it.
Right. Right.
It's not, it will come back
That is true.
somehow,
That
right?
that is true.
So you can't, now you can give unwisely in your business. You can be there's a great book by Adam Grant called Givers and Takers.
Okay.
I think that's the title. And he's the youngest tenured professor at Wharton.
Oh, nice.
And the study that he did that caused him to write this book was, who is more successful in business, givers or takers? And the answer, and spoiler alert, the answer is there's really a third category,
Okay.
and it's wise givers.
Wise givers.
That's my summation of what he probably didn't call it that,
Okay.
but
Okay.
so takers, givers that are doormats are
Mm.
not the people that are
Mhm,
successful,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
So that's a great book.
Okay, awesome, awesome.
hmm
Definitely appreciate you sharing that, Jane. How can the people get in contact with you if they needed your
I am
services?
not hard to find.
Okay.
If you go to janegentry.com, you'll hit our website. If you Google Jane Gentry, you'll find multiple ways to connect with me. And I am a prolific poster
Okay.
on LinkedIn,
Mm-hmm.
and that's our favorite method of reaching our audience
Mm-hmm.
and trying to add value to our audience. So
Awesome. So if you guys are listening to the podcast today and you need some help, please reach out to Jane. She'll be more than happy to help you in some form or fashion. And Jane, at one moment, you were telling me, you were in sales and you decided to go all in on your business. You're just going to burn the ship and go all in. Why would you tell the entrepreneurs that are watching the show today they should go all in on their business?
well, I just don't see how you can do anything halfway. And so, unfortunately, I wish I could tell you why I burned the ships. I mean, sometimes I look back now at 1999 when I first started my practice, and I think, wow, you were really brave or really stupid. Um, like, would I do it today
Yes,
at my
yes,
age?
yes.
Right. And it just goes back to that calculated risk, but you can't do it halfway. You
Okay.
can't analyze it to death. You can be thoughtful about it. I tell women entrepreneurs this in particular. There's a lot of research that shows that, for example, if they're looking for a job, a man will look at 10 qualifications in a job listing and they'll say, I have 4 of these. I'll learn the rest on the job. Women wait till they have all 10.
10. Okay. Okay.
So I say to women entrepreneurs in particular, you have to know, I've got enough. I'm going to look. You'll never know everything.
Right.
Never.
True.
You have to be a constant learner.
Mm-hmm.
And so jump into the pool with both feet.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Listen, guys, please pay attention to what she's saying. She's so successful and she's done so many things over her career. Just listen to the advice. Now, I have one more segment inside of the podcast, which is you get the last word. You've given so many good words already. Do you have a last word to give the audience today?
For business or in general?
Any advice that you can give.
Merry Christmas. I
Yes.
hope you have a blessed and peace-filled holiday season.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jane, for coming on today.
My pleasure.
And sharing those gems with us. Please reach out to her, guys. She could be a valuable resource for you. And thank you so much for coming on today.
Absolutely my pleasure.
Thank you, Jane.